From Carnegie Hall to the Royal Albert Hall to sold-out arenas across the world. He is more than a musician, more than a composer, a global icon, a force of nature. YOSHIKI. After sold-out performances across the world and a journey that nearly silenced him, he returns. For 2 nights only, inside one of the world's most extraordinary stages. Experience a collision of emotion and explosion. Two unforgettable performances. One incredible moment. YOSHIKI. An experience like nothing else.
Hello everyone, welcome to YOSHIKI CHANNEL. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Chigusa and I will be emceeing today. I am a radio personality. Today's YOSHIKI Channel will be streaming as a collaborative special event together with Newspicks, a socioeconomic media. And we are streaming from the studio of Newspicks in Marunouchi, Tokyo. And we have some very special guests for you today. First, we have Mr. Yutaka Matsuo, Graduate School of Engineering Professor at Tokyo University, and Kei Tanaka, who is an investor and former Goldman Sachs employee, and journalist Jun Hori. You have a really great voice. I feel like I'm listening to the radio. Thank you. So we have some very special guests in a very special setting today. So all our guests here today are leading figures in AI, finance, and journalism. And today we're going to have a very exciting discussion ahead. We are about to welcome YOSHIKI, who has just returned from LA. Hello. So please have a seat. Welcome back, YOSHIKI, to Japan. So great to have you here. So we were just talking today with my guests, but you were at an izakaya in Akita Prefecture, weren't you? And it was all the buzz on X. Let's look at this video. That's a great video. It's like we're almost watching a deep fake video. So in the beginning, no one noticed you. I actually seems like everyone did notice who I was, and I was feeling everyone's visions, but it looks like everyone, in the end, they welcomed me. They greeted me really nicely. So it's a very local izakaya
しっかりお辞儀されてから回転さ
And
れるの
you
が素晴らしいなと思って拝見していました
took a
が、
very big bow at the end.
自分たちのね、ビシッとスーツ決まった吉木さん
And you looked great in your wonderful suit. And social media was also
そうですね
really
はい
excited.
いい感じで
So was that woman the owner of the izakaya? Do you often go to
20年ぶりと
izakayas?
か30年ぶりとか
I think it was like the first time in 20 or 30 years.
ちょっと招待されまして
I was invited
ちょっとどうしてもここで
and
なんかまあ食事をしてほしいと言って
I was told that I should eat there. So
で
I said okay.
普通
And
に食事してたんですけど
I was just eating there.
インスタグラムに
And I posted on Instagram and I said, no one is noticing who I
そ
am.
のまま置いといたら騒ぎになっ
But
て
apparently everyone,
トップニュースになってま
I left it and
あ
then
りましたが、でも本当にお帰りなさいませ
social media was all the buzz about
さあ、
it.
堀さん以外は本日この吉木さんお会いするのを
So
初めてと
it's also your first time to
伺っておりますが
meet Mr. Tanaka and Mr. Matsuo,
い
right?
かがでしょうか。表示いかがですか。
How do you feel?
イメージ通りっていうか
You are exactly how I thought you are.
歌ってましたし
I used to sing your songs a lot.
有名人ですので
You are
でも
very
イメージ通りの
famous, so
素敵な方だな
you are very cool, exactly how I thought you would be.
す。そう先生が。
すごいですね。
でカラオケで歌
You
う
do sing in karaoke? Yes.
高校生の頃とか
When I was in high school.
いやいやいやそれは調整しますけど
In the original key? Oh, of course, in a different
そしてもう
key.
田中さんは
And Mr. Tanaka, you are a very big fan of
あまりに
X.
も浮かれて
Yeah.
SNS で事前に告知した
I was so excited that I
全
had
部 CD を持ってい
to
て
はい
ライブの
announce it on social media. I have all your CDs, I have all your live
で
DVDs,
後でも
and
しかしたらいただけるんじゃないかと期待してるんですけど、ワイバイヨシキというワインも
I also have,
ずっと毎日飲んでたことがあって
there was a moment where I
人
used
数
to drink
が
Y
買え
by
なくなっちゃって
Yoshiki,
それ
and
でちょっと買えない時が我慢してたん
there
ですけど、はい
it got too popular that there was a moment that I couldn't buy it, but I've just been following you forever. Do we have Y by Yoshiki here
ご
today?
用意しております。
Of course we do.
なので吉木さん本日はどれにいたし
僕
ましょう。
今日これの仕事が最後なので
What
ぜひ
would you like to have?
今日は
This is my last job today.
シャンパ
So
ンいきますか
シャンパンいきますか。
let's go for the
いただき
champagne.
ます
シャンパンで
Would you like some,
シャンパ
everyone?
ンから赤とかがいいんですかはい
Do you want, we can go from champagne and then to red.
嬉しいです
いや
ね。
本当にこれ本当にすごくてですね、こうシャンパーニュって企業
It's so amazing
ルイ・ヴィトンとか
because
ああいうクラスのところと
You collaborated with
個人の
Pommery.
人とコラボレーションするってまずねこれまでの歴史も
Actually, Pommery has never collaborated with an individual.
まあラッパーの JG がちょっとやってますけど
Jay-Z
そのシャンパン
maybe collaborated with Armani, but
かかるってもちょっと異常なことなので
but for you to collaborate with Pommery as an individual, not a corporation, is amazing. Yes, it was their first time in their 490-year history that they collaborated with an individual, and I didn't know that, but I went to their vineyard,
ことの重大さに気づいてきた
and then I realized how big of a deal this was. So
はい
amazing.
そのストーリーとともに皆様にも召し上がっていただきたい
So
と思います。
let's enjoy this wine
た
here.
だこれができるまでは
But actually, until this was developed, it took about 3 years of communication, and from the design of the bottle to
テイスティングとかも
the
何度もさせていただいてっていう
tasting, and
はい
we had
リ
numerous
モートでやっ
tastings.
たんですけど
And this was all done
フランスから
remotely.
ロスに送られてきてロスから見て
They would send it to me to LA, and then I would give feedback.
出されたもうボトルから置いてあるだけでも存在感すごい
Just
あ
the
ります
bottle
よね。
itself is so wonderful. It
夜の一杯
has a great presence.
味わっていただきましょ
So
う。
we hope that you
そう
enjoy
テ
this
イスティングを何度もしてっていうのともう吉木さんのこだわりで
So did you
まあ本来
create
は
the
ワインとこういう
champagne
中から選んでほしい
your
ある中で
own
こだわりをお伝えして
particular
はい、そうで
taste?
すね。あと僕いつも
Yes,
ま
and
ず最高のものを
I always drink one of the
まあ
best
結構値段も張るんです
wines
け
and
ど
champagnes.
とり
So
あえ
of
ず
course
良い
that
という
costs money,
シャ
but
ンパンを
I have tried all the
ほとんど飲みまくって
champagnes,
まあその
thoroughly.
量じゃなくてですねそういう機会を
not the
繰り返
amount,
して
but
自分
just
の中
the
の
type,
方向性
the
をまず定
different
めて
brands,
この
and
辺のラインが好き
I
ですこの辺は嫌いですという
said this type I like
で
and this type I
向こうも
don't.
結構いろんなしシャンパン
to
さんの
Pommery,
話を
and
出して
then
るのでその中から絞っていって
We
こっちの方向でも
finalized
ちょっとこういう
from
感じ
their
で
selection as well, and we
ワイン
had a
でも
lot
シャン
of
パンでも
back and
はい
forth.
そういうの 何度もやりますよ。
ワインの方もまたなんか勝手に解説しちゃって恐縮なんですけど、そのモンダビ家っていう。
And then your wine too. Excuse me for explaining myself, but you collaborated with Robert Mondavi Jr., the fourth generation Napa Valley vineyard winemaker, and that too is also amazing. So yes, that started about 15 years ago. They collaborated. They asked me to collaborate with them, and of course I knew who they were, so I went to Napa to talk to them. And the first 5 years we had to figure everything out as we went, but I tried all the different kinds of wines and then settled on a direction. But it wasn't never finalized, so let's have some.
はい、どうぞ。
乾杯いただきます。
Cheers.
お話伺えば伺うほどこれがどれだけ特別な一杯かというのが伝わってきますが。
So we can really tell how wonderful this wine is. I'm sorry, Chigusa-san, for if I have some, I probably won't be able to talk. So, but Napa also had a fire, and there's been effects of climate change as well. So the production process is full of challenges, right? Yes, exactly, and the wine, the vineyards are all headed north now.
たまたま今日ちょっと僕も実は北海道
Actually,
でもワイン
today
を
we are creating wine in Hokkaido as well,
ドメインの高彦さん
and with Domain Takahiko,
今プロジェクト進めてるんですけ
and
ど
doing a project with him
あそこも
or with them.
もともとは少し寒す
But
ぎたんですけ
it used to be cold,
今は
too cold there, but
とても良い
it's wonderful to make some Pinot Noir.
温暖化の影響を受けて北海道のくなってきてる逆に
Because of global warming, Hokkaido is now suitable for
この辺が今
vineyards.
後
And now France and Italy,
現在の素晴らしいワインビニヤードとかがこれから
the vineyards might be affected by global warming.
聞いていますが
今ね山火事の話ありましたけど、あれですよね。そのYOSHIKIさんのアメリカファンデーションで山火事の復興のために50万ドルでしたっけ寄付されて、
the disaster from the bushfire, you actually donated $500,000
はい、そうですね。
Yes. It's around 70
million
yen in various arenas. YOSHIKI has been so successful, and also the
様々な近況報告がございまして、私の方からこの時間をお借りしてご紹介させていただきたいと思います。まずはですね、もうこのシャンパンにもふさわしいとっても嬉しいニュースです。アメリカのエンタメ業界を支える慈善団体エンターテインメントコミュニティファンドより最高栄誉であるメダルオブオナーがYOSHIKIさんに贈られることが発表されました。おめでとうございます。
Congratulations. That's remarkable accomplishment. How do you feel? I'm flying to New York tomorrow. So probably already in New York. Congratulations to you. And also in addition, YOSHIKI made a surprise appearance at the Japan concert of the legendary artist Diana Ross. So it really is, the red color is very good on both of you. I think it made a splash headlines. Just for your information, tomorrow, I think I'm going to actually play in the award ceremony as well in New York. Right. And speaking of Diana Ross, just by coincidence, because I had been planning to Japan, and 3 weeks before, so I actually heard that the various people are looking for me, and I was wondering why. So firstly, they would like me to see what's the show, and seems like the schedule actually goes nicely. So okay, so if I'm going to make an appearance, probably I should play the piano. And so there are some kind of candidate songs, and I can do any songs, and then we selected this one. Right, that was a story behind the scenes. Right, that was fantastic.
このお知
And
らせです
also,
が、
we also
クラ
have
シ
some
カル
exciting
コン
event
サート第
announcement.
2章となります、
So,
スカーレット・ナイト&バイオレット・ナイト・ロ
Scarlet
サンゼルス
Night
公演
and
が
Violet
名門
Night
音
and
楽
Los
ホールウォ
Angeles
ルト・ディズニーコンサー
performance,
トホールで
which mark chapter 2 of the classical concert series, will take place on July 16th and 17th local time at the prestigious Walt Disney Concert Hall. There's some kind of video, so please watch it.
From Carnegie Hall to the Royal Albert Hall to sold-out arenas across the world, he is more than a musician, more than a composer, a global icon, a force of nature. Yoshiki. After sold-out performances across the world,
ちょうどロイターの英語記事で世界に打電されてました。
So I remember that this has been covered by the Reuters. And it says that the co-founder of X Japan, and that really impressed me. So X Japan seems to be something goes beyond. And I actually saw this is a kind of gigantic project. And just playing the piano in the concert hall, it attracted so much attention. So that's actually remarkable construction or architecture. Yeah, that was actually yesterday. Right, so that power actually reflected that. And also, you actually changed performance. We haven't actually revealed who the guest will be. Right, very looking out for it on the 16th and 17th July. Right. Right, this is such a special one.
ということで楽しみにしたいと思います。
So I'm looking out for it.
最後に、はい、まだあるんです。もう一つだけ。8月にはですね、グランドハイアット東京を舞台に
Evening Breakfast with Yoshiki 2026 in Tokyo, Japan will be held at the Grand Hyatt Tokyo. Once again, this year demand was overwhelming during the pre-sales period, and all performances sold out before general sales even began. So I couldn't actually get the tickets. Yes, I think it was so popular. And on Monday, some kind of announcement will be made. Next Monday, and also Friday as well. Right, so on Monday and Tuesday, there will be some kind of news revealed. So please look out for it.
さあ、それでは早速ですが、皆さんでお話ししていきたいと思います。
Dive right into our discussion. Tonight's theme is being on the global stage and the value of creators in the age of AI. Together with our guests, who are all leaders in their respective fields, I'd like to explore what unique value remains for human beings in the age of AI. This is a special collaboration with Newspeaks. So the second half of our discussion will be available on the Newspeaks applications and website. And we'll remind you again at the end of the first half, so please stay tuned until the very end. To begin, Professor Matsuo, how do you view the current pace of AI advances? I think it is very fast. So, ChatGPT was released at the end of 2022. It's been 3 years or so, and at a remarkable speed, it is making advances, and we are seeing a new release every week or almost every month. Yes, I think the curve is now becoming even more exponential. Yes, so there's a certain rules. So if you are, for example, manufacturing at the factory, and once the market is actually saturated, the harvest could get smaller. However, in case of AI or scientific technologies, in terms of the mitigation of the harvest rules, the value is actually increasing. And if you look at the humanity history, the speed is accelerating. What happened in the 2 decades, or what happened in the past 5 years or 10 years, that has been accelerating. So you cannot really imagine what's going to happen. So what's going to happen in 2 decades? Are we going to be here? So I think various things could happen. The meaning of the humanity, or I think the living thing could actually be transformed. So in terms of the view on lifetime, it could be the family, and when you actually lost some your loving family, then that could change how you see your life, and the AI could transform announcement that we heard, and I was so impressed. So this is back in 1989. This is a live show from 1989. So this is actually the footage of the music that was actually unfinished and unreleased. Right, so this is actually happening real time. So this really reminds me of the time when I was. And of course, some of the fans may be relatively young. However, in the era of AI, what kind of the value can be created? I think why people feel so impressed. If something created by AI can impress people, then I think that is quite relevant. However, as AI is trained, but the data is actually provided for by people anyway. So you need to clean up that training data as well. So in America and Europe and Japan, and I think probably they will listen to this music. So how should we deal with copyright, or how should we deal with rights? What do you think about that? So there's an organization managing the copyright, and there's a creator side, and I think those two parties should actually work together. And this is a project I'm thinking about. So now AI has been developed, and you actually have to try to find out who holds that copyright. And there's some kind of like party who is trying to develop a system to detect where the copyright is. But I think there's one thing, fair use of copyright. For example, fair use for education. If you actually create some movies, you can actually use it for like 10 seconds. Or there's another one, Transformer. So there are two concepts. And the Gen AI music company is claiming that it is not violating the law. So those copyright holders, they are saying that that is violating the copyrights. So let's say that there's some kind of 0.3% and also 0.3% Beatles, and they have to find out all of those details. However, massive computation is required, and also it would include some public domains, and that could be quite confusing. So Gen AI companies and copyright management organizations can come together as one. So that, let's say, 0.03% can be distributed to the composer automatically. So not limited to music. I think it can work for the films and other in dealing with copyrights. Yes, in news field, fair use is making advances in the US. So because if it is actually valuable for public information, then it can go beyond copyright scope. However, in Japan,
Thank you so much. I feel like I can live longer now. Thank you for the wonderful performance.
勝ちしかない。
もう皆さんご覧いただいている方もお分かりの通り、全然まだまだ
So the conversation is going to continue, but we are running out of time, and the second half will be streamed on Mr. Tanaka's regular program, Money Mate. And you can check out that program from the QR code in the link. And finally, we have some announcements. You already made those announcements. I actually have a few more. So first of all, the Rakuten card Yoshiki design, you can also get advance tickets for Yoshiki's dinner show with this card. If you join now, you can get 5,000 reward points. So make sure you join this campaign and get your Rakuten card.
2人で大変です。
特別な点が詰まったこの機会にぜひご検討ください。そして最後にですが、冒頭でもご紹介しました。
And finally,
コンサート第2章となります。
Chapter 2 of Yoshiki's classical concert in Los Angeles, Scarlet Night and Violet Night, will be performed on July 16th and 17th. So tomorrow I'm going to New York, and after that I'm going to Paris for a second, and then I'm going back to LA. But we are starting rehearsals for this concert in LA. So there's going to be some collaborations as well. So this world tour, I always start everything with a question mark. Tours, I always did tours like 20 shows in 1 month, and of course that's very efficient. We do an album and then release an album, do a tour, get some rest, and then do something else. But now I'm doing big shows every 3 months, and I'm not sure if that is good or bad. But I really don't have any time off. And then it keeps changing. So I'm evolving in a way, and maybe that is actually good, because who knows, like the world could change every 3 months. And the tour, in a tour, usually you do something, the same thing for like 6 months or a year, but the world is changing. And I just did a concert in April, and things change, in 3 months. So that is how I'm doing shows right now, and I think you can look forward to this performance. So maybe we always want to hear your questions from Yoshiki, and that is what's so exciting about your shows. So, very sorry, but the show is going to have to end here. Thank you so much for everyone joining us today. And you can watch the rest of this discussion in Newspicks. And also, you're going to have your fan meeting on Yoshiki Plus. So, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Bye-bye.
From Carnegie Hall to the Royal Albert Hall to sold-out arenas across the world, he is more than a musician, more than a composer, a global icon, a force of nature. Yoshiki. After sold-out performances across the world and a journey that nearly silenced him, he returns. For 2 nights only, inside one of the world's most extraordinary stages. experience a collision of emotion and explosion. Two unforgettable performances. One incredible moment. Yoshiki. An experience like nothing else.